Sharon, you're gonna go on YouTube and see.
Yeah, I'll go right now.
Looking. Sometimes it's hard to get the camera angle just right for the live stream, so I just want to make sure it's gonna come in just right. Otherwise, I can't see the screen very well. All right, so I'm gonna get started even while you're looking at that, okay? I don't know if it's gonna be live. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming out tonight. We really appreciate you coming out to learn more about KingLife and everything that KingLife has to offer. KingLife is a very exciting program, and I think you're going to really like what you hear and what you see. You're going to like how well this program is structured for the average everyday person to really win financially. And so I think it's going to be a win for everyone who is participating. And so ask questions, engage, and as we walk through it, consider who you know that may benefit from this program, yourself, but also consider others that may benefit from this program. So when we start to talk about financial concerns, we start to talk about life in general, the number one worry for the average human being is consistent over time. I think everybody in the room probably knows the answer to this question. What is the number one worry for the average human being? And everybody in the room said, money. Just, you know? And so that would be the correct answer, but not so direct as money. It's really financial insecurity. At the root of most life worries, health, family, stability, and even security lies to the single question, do I have enough resources for the people that I love to protect them and help them move forward in their lives? Everyone has to do resource management. And how we do that resource management matters. And the more tools that we have at our disposal, the more we learn and understand, the more effective we can be with resource management. So across the globe, the number one human concern is financial insecurity, just having enough. It is absolutely the pervasive worry. There's lots of context for it. It is, again, from the foundation of time, stewardship is the one most discussed topic in the Bible. Twice as many verses in the Bible about stewardship than there is about faith and prayer. It represents 10% of the Gospels, 2,300 verses, and 16 of the 38 parables. So financial management, stewardship, is certainly something that our Creator knew from the very beginning would be something we need tools and support to really begin to manage. And so it doesn't matter where we are in the scale of the timeline of history. This could be 26 AD or 2026 AD. Doesn't matter. It is the same. The mechanics may have changed. How we do money may have changed. I've gone from seeing cash stuffed in bed sheets and in jars and buried out in the backyard. I know for a fact my grandfather buried lots of jars of cash under his home. Found them after he died, so I know it was there. And so we've moved them. We've moved from cash to plastic, and now we're doing this cyber currency that we can't even put our hands on. It's not even tangible anymore. Regardless of the mechanics of the money, the psychology of do I have financial security remains consistent. And so the primary hurdles, when you look at your life, look at your neighbors, look at your family and your friends, think about the hurdles that we face. Everyone knows about inflation in this year, 2026. We've all seen inflation skyrocket. We know that May inflation came in at almost 5%. Housing prices are certainly at record highs. In our Wealth Roundtable yesterday, we talked a little bit about what drives those variables, but savings, a significant portion of the population just living paycheck to paycheck, no rainy day fund for emergencies whatsoever. And what causes that? Well, what causes that is everyone's budget has been strained to keep up with the rising cost of inflation and housing. And so as our budgets get strained, it makes it harder to be able to save. And then we start carrying high interest debt to help fill the gaps between necessary expenses and discretionary expenses. These hurdles exist. And then more complex hurdles are really hurdles about healthcare, retirement, student loans, and literacy. Literacy is a big part of the reason we're here tonight to talk about KingLife, because we want to make sure that everyone is equipped. Everyone is equipped to win financially, whatever that means for you as an individual. And not only for you, but also for your family. So again, these are the more complex financial hurdles that we face. But let's talk a little bit about Petra Worldwide and our mission. We're talking about the problems, right? But we got to transition at some point to the solutions. So at Petra Worldwide, we are empowering and equipping everyday people to transform their financial reality through a coordinated financial system that ensures purpose, alignment, and prosperity. Because we believe that if purpose and alignment are there, the prosperity will follow. Prosperity will follow purpose and alignment. But you have to be empowered and equipped. And that's what we're talking about tonight as we talk about KingLife, which is a significant part of Petra's mission. So at Petra Worldwide, we are at our heart an accounting, tax, and real estate firm with a humanitarian mission. Faith is at the core of who we are. Every interaction is rooted in purpose, integrity, and the call to serve everyday people. But I want to talk about that calling a little deeper. I want to unpack it a bit so that you understand where we're coming from. Let me share the Petra story with you, because I think this is a big part of why we serve so diligently. Every great mission begins with a simple, disruptive belief, a belief that I thought of, that I shared, that everyday people deserve extraordinary champions. And how did I get to that belief? How was that the foundation? So back in 2002, when we first opened our doors as the Orlando Tax Room in Central Florida Home Loans, our blueprint was filled by that singular mission. It was a vision to be the financial advisors for everyday people. That was very important because it wasn't just a slogan for me. It wasn't something I read in a textbook. It was birthed from a deep passion of life-changing knowledge and experience. I took on the task of really learning about money and how money works. So when I start to really unpack what happens when you get disciplined and you get structured and you start to think about how you live. So I was driven by this truly deep sense of purpose to go and get an insurance license, a mortgage license, securities license, real estate license, all with the purpose of figuring out how to be the financial advisor for everyday people, because this knowledge became a significant amount of power. Because once you're equipped with the rules, it's easier to play the game. And money and money management in this economy can be a bit of a puzzle that you have to put together. So in 2007, we evolved into Petra Worldwide, adopting an even larger, breathtaking mission of strengthening ministries to transform humanities. You know, our penetration into the industry started in faith-based organizations. Like I mentioned before, everything we do is bathed in a humanitarian mission. And that humanitarian mission is just that, to ensure that everyday people have a financial strategy. And so armed with everything that I learned in my years of corporate, my education, the license, all of that has led us here. So Petra Worldwide presents KingLife as that coordinated financial system that empowers and equips everyday people to transform their financial reality. Let's talk about why that's necessary. We've already talked about the problems that people face with inflation. We've talked about high prices with home prices, but there's a complexity gap. Most individuals manage taxes, real estate, and legal solutions in isolation. They piecemeal it together, right? It's an approach that leads to missed opportunities and higher costs. This lack of a strategy, without a single advisor connecting the dots, you often overpay for taxes, you leave thousands of dollars on the table, and find yourself unprotected legally. KingLife does this. KingLife provides one advisor with many solutions. No more piecing it together. It includes accounting, tax, real estate, legal protection, and financial coaching. One advisor, many solutions, there's one team. All the financial elements under one roof. This is essentially what the KingLife coordinated financial system does. Now, that coordinated system comes with a lot of depth. There's a lot of depth in this system. And this depth includes having experienced people sit on your team. As a KingLife member, you are assigned a tax accountant, a licensed realtor. You have access to staff CPAs, real estate attorneys, all under one roof. So regardless of what issues you're facing, if you're having issues with back taxes, if you just want to do tax planning, if you just need wealth strategies, you have an entire team of people as a KingLife member that are experts in their discipline. The realtors on the team don't practice taxes. The tax accountant doesn't sell real estate, but they do talk to each other. And they talk to each other to help you come up with the best solution. One investment for your family's essential professional services. All of those services under one roof. So your wealth protection team really looks like this. You get tax accountants, CPAs, for the business owners, bookkeeper, licensed realtors, licensed attorneys on the real estate side, and business and personal lawyer. We're going to talk about how this rolls in, but it's really all for less than a cup of coffee a day. What you pay at a Starbucks for an average cup of coffee, KingLife will cost you less. And KingLife doesn't even cost. KingLife is an investment. It's an investment in your future. Because when you think about the decision that you make every day to spend your dollar, you have to ask yourself, what am I getting in return? Is there value in this for me? And so the membership structure looks a little bit like this. It layers in Legal Shield. Some of you may know Legal Shield, be familiar with this service. It's an add-on in the KingLife membership. This membership provides you the ability to speak with a lawyer on an unlimited number of personal issues. And this one is so powerful because if you get a traffic ticket, if you're renting and you're concerned about your rights as a tenant, if you have a legal issue that is over your head, we live in a very litigious society, this actually works. I have a client who had an experience with their son getting a traffic ticket in the mail. Local city said, hey, you ran the red light. We see this and we're mailing you a ticket. He sent it over to Legal Shield. Legal Shield was able to apply a very unknown law that got them out of that ticket that they didn't even know about. They were just going to pay the ticket. And I said, listen, it's already in your membership. Send it over. What's the worst that can happen? It was a $180 ticket. They were able to save that $180 And again, that speaks to the power of this investment. If anyone's done a will or is in the market to get your legacy in order, I know it's kind of morbid to talk about doing wills and power of attorney documents, but they're expensive. I've recently done, my will, I did a trust, and all of that cost me thousands of dollars. I didn't know about Legal Shield at that time, but I do know it now. And I know that I can have my will done and not have to spend a significant amount of money. So professional representation on traffic tickets, like I just mentioned, if there's a need for civil defense, that comes at a reduced cost. Standard document review. You get a letter in the mail, and this happened to another client, got a letter in the mail, their neighbor sent them a letter from their attorney that says, your fence is encroaching 3 feet onto our property. We want you to move it in 60 days. Well, first of all, they're offended because it's their neighbor. They've been friends for 10 years. But nevertheless, they took the letter, sent it over to Legal Shield to their attorney, said, hey, how do we handle this? Well, it just so happens that the survey was challenged based on the lawyer's direction. And a new survey was done that was a deeper meets and bounds survey, and they were able to resolve this matter. And it did not cost them anything to resolve this matter. Sorry, Roger Porter, by the way.
He knows your person.
One of the things that's super important is this: 24/7 emergency access for covered situations. If you are in a situation where you get detained, and we know this is very important today with what's happening with immigration enforcement, you have access to a 24/7 number that you can just pick up the phone while you're being detained. The lawyer will speak to the officer that's detaining you and give them your legal rights. That changes the tone of any type of detainment. So all of this is included in a KingLife membership as an add-on. So let's get deeper into what's actually in the foundations of each KingLife membership. At the silver level, this is the foundational level. This is the entry-level planning for individuals and early professionals. This includes personal financial coaching, tax prep and e-filing, personalized budgets. Everyone, regardless of how much money you have or don't have, a personalized budget is a critical tool in your fight to be financially solvent. Wealth management software and performance tools, $1 million IRS defense, audit defense. This is one that a client recently used. You'll see this testimony on our website where they had been audited by the IRS. We actually prepare their taxes, been preparing their taxes for years. They got an audit notice from IRS. IRS says, hey, we don't agree with your vehicle mileage. We don't think it's accurate and true. We don't think that it makes sense. No one likes to get that letter from the IRS. If you've ever gotten one of those letters in the mail, the minute you see Internal Revenue Service in the top left corner of that letter, you just cringe and you open it immediately because you understand the power that comes behind it. Well, this client said, hey, you know what? Let them have it. We're not going to fight. It was almost $7,000 in adjustments and fees and penalties. And they said, let the IRS have it. We don't want to, I don't want to hassle with them. We said, no, it's correct and it's accurate and we can prove it. In this plan, they would have had at their disposal up to $1 million of expense in their favor to defend them against the audit. It took us almost 3 years of back and forth with the IRS, over $7,000 worth of mileage. And at the end of the case, we were able to say, this person has these 1099s. It proves they are working as a musician. They have to travel. After 3 years of back and forth, the IRS finally said, you know what? We agree. Our bad. We're going to leave it. You're fine. Saved the guy $7,000 because he just wanted to give up. That's the power of this audit defense. Identity theft restoration. Everyone's heard the stories about identity theft and how damaging that can be to your credit and how much time and money it takes to restore it once you've been a victim. And so again, this is ideal for first-time homeowners and early professionals. Real estate consultations, 60-minute coaching session, notary services online or in person. All of those for a monthly investment of $99. And again, cheaper than a cup of Starbucks coffee. As you grow and you move to the next level, the gold plan is best for sole proprietors and families. You get everything that's in that silver plan, plus you get the bonus add-on of Legal Shield. This is where the Legal Shield protection that I just described really kicks in. And again, not to be redundant, but personal access to lawyers, will preparation, power of attorney, representation for traffic tickets, and advice on consumer disputes. This add-on comes in this next level plan. Sole proprietor tax preparation, accountability coaching, business tax strategies. Again, ideal for the real estate professionals, families. It also includes business income preparation and e-filing, another $1 million of IRS audit defense for the business taxes. That's in addition to the personal taxes. Business tax preparation, identity theft restoration, real estate transactions, and one of my personal favorites is our bi-weekly wealth roundtables. Those provide a lot of insight and planning opportunities. For those people that are significant real estate investors, high-income professionals, retirees that are looking to maximize their cash flow, at this level, the platinum, we add on business Legal Shield. So this is another add-on for Legal Shield. We throw in the business protection, which gives you, again, consultations for business matters. If you're running a small business and you're having trouble collecting your receivables because you send follow-up emails, hey, your invoice is 60 days past due. It's very different when that same customer gets a letter from your lawyer. And that's part of it. It's included in the plan. Legal collection letters are included. I think this is up to 50 per month. They're included. And so priority access for real estate transactions in this platinum level, unlimited personal financial coaching, strategy sessions, representation. This is a huge one because if you are forced to go sit before a revenue agent, we go on your behalf up to 50 hours per year. That's included in this membership. The monthly investment at this level is $375 for the value that you get in the legal protection for your business, your personal, all included. So for those that are really focused on building legacy, membership absolutely symbolizes more than success. It represents commitment to a lifestyle of integrity, leading with confidence in building a legacy that lasts. And so Legal Shield, as an add-on to KingLife, combines you in a situation where you've got all of your financial, all of your legal protection in one roof under one membership. Powerful way to move on in your legacy. Now, for those that are looking for the opportunity to improve your income, because one of the things we know, and this was a part of our wealth roundtable discussion yesterday, is diversification is so important, not only asset allocation, but income diversification. So as a KingLife associate, you have the opportunity to help us move this mission forward. And while you do that, you help families become financially independent and you earn income. You earn income through direct commission. You earn residual income from renewing subscriptions. And if you are aggressive and build a team, you can even earn a team override. All of these opportunities will allow you to move your financial condition forward. It will also allow you to truly help other people gain a stronger financial position. So no matter where you are in the age, career, professional perspective, everyone is looking for the same thing, financial security. If your income's tight and you need an opportunity, really consider becoming a KingLife associate. Here's a little bit more detail on what that looks like. As direct sales commissions on a KingLife subscription, there's a 15% base on a 12-month subscription. Here's an example of what that commission can look like to you as a KingLife associate. At the platinum level, at $375 a month, with a 15% commission, $675. That's on direct commission. But we talked about building a team. If you build a team, you build your own squad, you get a 2% override on everything they do. In this example, using that same platinum membership that a person under you would have received the $675 commission for, you receive a $90 override. And think of the number of families you help in the process. That alone, to me, is worth everything. Because everyone is just trying to survive life. So this is more than a company. This is a calling for us. And we can't do it alone. We invite you to step into this story with us. Join us. Become a KingLife member. Become a KingLife associate. Do it for yourself first. You know what happens when you take that airplane ride? As you're getting ready to taxi down the runway, what do they tell you to do? As they stand at the front and they put on the life vest, the next thing they say, if the plane loses altitude, this mask is going to drop. What do they tell you to do? Put your mask on first. Because you have to put your mask on first to be able to help other people put their mask on. So as a member, you put your mask on first. As an associate, you help other people put their mask on. That's KingLife. This is the opportunity to really empower people to change their financial reality. And again, we want everyone to join in the mission to help people change their financial reality. Are there any questions? We got about 80 people in the room. Someone should have a question. Thank you for joining, and I'll stop right there. Hey, I got applause. You never applaud me.
Yes, I do. You just are too busy.
That's not true. All right.